So, I've been thinking a lot recently, like loads in the past 6 months, about about what maturity really is. Because I have thought many times in the past several years, and especially recently, that maturity is basically just how disillusioned you are with the world. I've told myself, oh, well, if you look past the concepts of community, doing things for enjoyment, relationships, favors, the concept of selflessness, if you just take all of that crap and throw it away and look at it through this lens of cynicism, then it removes all of the significance of that. You're basically just saying, oh, well, none of that means anything because we only do it for ourselves. We just do it because it's better than doing nothing. And I genuinely did think that way for the better part of a year, or really the past couple of years, but I wasn't cognizant of it until pretty recently. And then when I did realize it, it just started sinking in. Just that the more cynical you are, the more that you view life, experiences, interactions with people through this lens of cynicism, the more cynicistic you are, the less anything tends to have reason, to have true value, or any hint of intrinsic importance. And I've just come to realize that it's much better to look at these concepts in a way that reinforces the value that they have. Because having relationships with people, doing things in the interests of others, doing things that you know will benefit other people, those have real value. They have a lot of value, and they reinforce parts of humanity that I believe are pretty much fundamental. Like, you can't have real human connection without making a serious effort to understand someone else, to try and do things in a way that someone else might want. Because we can't become the most that we can by only entertaining the things that we would like ourselves to be. And I know that that's really just a big word vomit / ramble, but I say all of that to highlight that disillusionment, especially in a cynical context, has nothing to do with maturity. Thinking that, seeing past the wiles of day-to-day life makes you really mature. Like if you question, like, oh, why am I at this job? Why do I do this? Like, why do I do anything? Isn't it all, like, meaningless? Like, if that is the way that you think, you're just failing to see the meaning. You're not allowing yourself to see it. And when you don't allow yourself to see the meaning or what is good about something, you don't feel good. You are choosing to focus on the things that will make you feel worse. Like, life is not full of, gimmies. It's not full of instant things that you can just go out and grab. You have to choose to look at the things that will reinforce the way that you want to feel. And if you don't consciously, actively do that, you're not going to feel that way. And I think having a real grasp of that, a real understanding of that, is what brings you closer to maturity. Because a really mature person isn't going to be bumbling around, complaining about everything, saying that everything's meaningless, there's no reason to do anything. Like, people don't want to listen to a person like that because in a place where there's a complete lack of meaning, you're not going to find people. You find people where there is meaning, where people are looking for meaning, actually looking for it, instead of doing the opposite, which would be like actively trying to disprove that there is reason. And that's really forming my perspective going forward, that having reason is something that you ascertain by consciously looking for the things that are good, looking at the things that are good, looking at things which are in a way that displays their meaning for you and for everyone else, even if you wouldn't ever think of them that way in normal contexts, I guess. Disillusionment is not maturity. That's the bottom line.